I'm 17 and my parents just left town for the weekend. My brother is spending the night at his friend's house, so I have the house all to myself. I've done this before and it's no big deal. We live in a nice neighborhood and I'm definitely old enough to be on my own at this point. Honestly, I'm a little excited to have the place to myself. My parents' room is on the second floor. They have a really nice memory foam mattress on their bed and it's definitely more comfortable than the old spring I have in my room. I decided to sleep in their room tonight and enjoy that comfy bed, even though I know they hate it when one of us kids sleeps on it. As it starts to get late, I settle down to sleep in their room. With it dark now and just me in the house, I feel a little unsettled. It's not just the type of nerves from being home alone. This was a little different. I had this weird feeling that someone or something might be watching me. But I do have anxiety, so I just told myself I was feeling off because of my new surroundings. This bed is super comfy, and once I fall asleep, I know I'll be just fine. I turn on the TV and start to watch some old cartoons. About an hour goes by and I'm starting to fade, so I turn off the TV and put the remote on the nightstand by my head. I roll over and do my best to fight the unsettled feeling I have, and eventually I do fall asleep. Some time goes by and I wake up to something. It's the light from the TV. It's back on and it's shining right in my face. The cartoons are playing again, and that's a little confusing, but whatever. I probably just fell asleep and never actually turned the TV off. Looking at my phone, I see that it's been about 45 minutes since the time I last saw. So I shrug it all off, turn the TV off again, and set the remote back on the dresser next to the bed. I fall right back to sleep because I'm so groggy at this point. And I sleep for some time and then, again, what is that? This is so annoying. Why is it so loud? I wake up and get some more of my bearings, and then I become disturbingly aware. The TV is back on. I roll over to face it. Okay, this is weird. It's definitely not cartoons anymore. Wait, what channel even is this? Why is the volume so loud? Not only am I 100% certain that I turned it off this time, but I had the volume really low before I fell asleep. I watch for a minute, wondering what show this is. The channel is black and white and it's showing 4 adult figures sitting around a table in a dark room. They're in the middle of talking about something. They stop. They're just sitting in complete silence. Then, in unison, they all look at the TV screen, as if they're looking right through it at me. Then they all start laughing. Okay, I'm turning this crap off right now, and yeah, I'll sleep in my room, thanks. I reach over for the remote to turn it off, and to my horror, my hand touches the solid wood of the dresser. I'm fully awake now. I begin feeling around on the floor for the remote control that I must have knocked off the stand in my sleep, but I can't find it anywhere. Screw the remote. I'm going for the light switch and getting out of here. I jump out of bed and take about 5 steps towards the door, and then I see it. No, it can't be. There's no way. Are you freaking kidding me? The remote is in the hand of one of the guys at the table on the freaking TV show. The guy furthest away, sitting at the table facing directly at me. This cannot be happening. I make some weird sound between a yelp and a cry, flick on the lights to the room, and then run through the rest of the house and turn on every light in every room. I called my brother and begged him to come home, and he told me I was being ridiculous, so I locked myself in my bedroom and eventually fall back asleep. I never turned that TV off in my parents' room. I never even went back in there. I cannot fully wrap my mind around what actually occurred that night. When my parents came back in town, I asked them if they ever had problems with the TV randomly turning on and off. They looked at me weird, like it was a stupid question. That same day, though, they did ask me if I had seen the remote.
I used to work as a forest service ranger. I also volunteered to help in search and rescue operations when people would go missing. One week in 1997, our ranger unit got a call to assist in locating a 5-year-old girl that had gone missing while she was out hiking with her family. She'd gone missing around noon on a Saturday. We knew we needed to get to her quickly. The temperatures in this area would drop to near freezing at night. Since we worked as rangers not too far away, my crew was able to be one of the first groups on scene to help with the search efforts. Within 2 hours of the girl being reported missing, we were performing grid patterns. Those are basically searches where you'll take a bunch of volunteers or search personnel and they'll line up and we'll all go straight out in one direction. Basically, we can be sure that nothing got missed on this particular area of land. Once we completely confirm that that area of land is clear, then we go back and we're assigned another grid section. Unfortunately, that first day, we got through 2 different grid sections before the sun went down, and we were not able to find the little girl or any trace of her. Search and rescue operations continued through the night. I was not part of the overnight operations. The overnight crews, however, did work diligently, but just didn't have any luck finding the little girl. I started back in on the search with my crew the following morning around 10 a.m. This time, we were assigned an area that was in a different location. This particular area, it was pretty rough terrain. There were some pretty steep drop-offs, almost like small little cliffs that you could definitely get hurt if you fell off of these. We took our time scaling down it, but still trying to make sure that we covered all the ground to look for any possible clue of if she was over here. We were maybe 2 hours into the search this day, and we had gotten down most of the steep part of that mountain, and we got down near a stream. And the stream wasn't too deep. I would say even a small child could probably cross this stream, but the water was very cold. It came from snow runoff. So if you did fall in or your clothes got wet, hypothermia would be a very real threat, especially if you're a small child. As we got a little bit past this stream, we're of course still calling out for her. Every maybe 15-20 seconds, we'll call out. Suddenly, off in the distance, we hear a soft little voice.
I'm coming!
All of us run in the direction of the voice, and there she is, casually walking to us like nothing had even happened. To our amazement, she was in surprisingly good condition. She'd been out in the elements for 24 hours, and other than being a little bit dirty, she looked completely normal. We obviously called in right away via radio that we had located her, and that on initial evaluation, she seemed to be okay. Additional search crews were now heading in our location to assess the best way to get her out safely. So they told us just to stay put until more crews got there, then we would figure out the best path to make sure that she wouldn't be in any danger as we went back up. It was going to take about 10 minutes for the crews to reach our location. At this point, we were maybe 2 miles from where the girl was actually last seen with her family when she got lost on the trail. So while we're waiting for the additional crews to meet up with us, I got down on my knees, I looked at the girl, and I asked her if she was doing okay. She replied,
Yes.
I then asked what happened. She didn't say much at first. I think she was still a little nervous. She didn't know any of us. I mentioned how we were all there just to help her and that we're going to get her to her parents really soon. After that, I said, So it must have been cold out here last night. She replied,
Kelsi kept me warm.
My alarm bells went off. We were told only one little girl was missing. Who was Kelsi? We need to find her if there's 2 people out here. I immediately radioed back in asking to confirm that there was only supposed to be one girl we were looking for. We got a reply saying, yes, only one girl is missing. I then asked the little girl, who is Kelsi?
My friend I met last night.
Can you tell me what Kelsi looks like?
She has dark hair.
So do you know where Kelsi is right now?
No.
Well, that was nice of Kelsi. How did she help you to stay warm last night?
She put her leaf blanket on me. When I woke up, she told me that Mommy and Daddy were this way by you.
Even though we were told nobody else was missing, 2 of our crew walked back in the direction the girl had come from just to see if maybe there was another person out there. They didn't find anyone else over there, and there was no trace of a leaf blanket. The additional crew showed up and we got her safely out of the area. She was rushed to the hospital with her family. I never got the opportunity to see or talk to her again. I couldn't stop thinking about what she said to me out there. The next week, while in the office, I looked into some of the missing person cases we had on file in these areas. I came across a report from 9 years prior. It was the case of an 8-year-old girl. She had gone missing while she was camping with her family. Unfortunately, that little girl was never found. Search efforts were eventually called off. In the file, it noted she had dark hair. Then I saw her name, Kelsi.